All right, so let us now continue our discussion. So again, DOS attack is just one computer to disrupt the access of the other people who's going to log in or is going to access a certain website or a certain application. Okay, and then we also have here the DDoS, wherein it's now composed of two or more computers is going to attack a certain server or a certain website, right? And then again, the solution for this one is just a firewall. Okay, just turn on your firewall, and then you're good to go, right? And then we have here the backdoor. So this one is very straightforward. So when you say backdoor, it is a way for us to access someone's computer without, without putting the password, without putting the login name, etc., etc., the things that you need to do to log into that computer. So meaning, when you say backdoor, that person or the hacker can bypass the security controls or system of that computer. Okay, so it could be in a program, could be via computer, or it could be on a network. Okay, and then we have here spoofing. So when we say spoofing, so this is actually a person who's uh, wanting to gain financial information or anything that is confidential or important information. So we have two types of spoofing. We have email spoofing and then IP spoofing. So email spoofing is the most common when it comes to spoofing. So as you guys can see right here, uh, we have here someone, okay, wherein this person will just send an information, okay. But then again, before he will be able to send that one to this person, it will go through this person who's doing a spoofing attack, okay, wherein this one will act as a legitimate uh, receiver, and then this one will alter the header, and then it will be sent to the original receiver, okay. So in that case, they will gain access to the information first before it will be able to pass through to the original receiver, okay. Call that one email spoofing. Or you could say that this one is the man in the middle. Okay, man in the middle attacks. This one is also quite similar with that one. So we have this sender and then this receiver, right? But we have man in the middle, wherein the sender will send the email to the receiver, but then we have man in the middle. So it will go through the man in the middle first before it will be sent to the original receiver, something like that. And then we have here the IP spoofing, which is similar now with phishing. Okay. Phishing is a way of scamming people to think that they are in the real application or real website or real software. So IP spoofing occurs when an intruder computer fools a network into believing its IP address is associated with a trusted source. So this one is mostly done when it comes to gaining financial informations. Like that person will pay online via ATM, and then he'll just click here to pay via online, and then it will lead you to this website. So you're thinking that that one is the trusted or the legitimate website, but it's not. Okay, so the hacker already implemented his attack in there, wherein uh, his website will act as the original one for you to be able to gain the ATM information of that someone. Okay, so it will fool someone's activity or what he's trying to do. Right. So how to safeguard against internet and network attacks? So again, if you really want to have a much safer uh, computer without virus, without malwares, without anything that is harmful, just use the premium version of any uh, antivirus. Okay. So Norton is one of the best. Maybe AVG or Avira is also one, okay, as long as you have the premium version. So yeah, and then be suspicious of unsolicited email attachments. So do not just open any random emails, especially if you don't know the sender. then scan removable media for malware before using it. This is also very common, especially if your friend will just copy a certain file to your laptop. So scan it first, okay, before opening his or her flash drives. In that case, you'll be able to avoid some viruses, okay, or malwares. And then implement firewall solutions. Okay, just activate your firewall. Then that is already a big help for you to, uh, receive some virus and unsolicited email and some spoofing or spyware application. And then, of course, backup regularly. So do not just backup regularly. So your backup should be on a different uh, computer or different, let's say, external hard drive, or possibly just avail a cloud storage. Okay, so some cloud storage are free, but if you want to have a larger storage, then just pay some amount of money every month or every year. Okay, so again, you guys already know how does a firewall work. So this one is actually the main protection when it comes to network attack. Okay, especially from outsiders, and to restrict employees' access to your sensitive data or to your payroll or to your personal records. Okay. And one more thing, we actually have two firewalls. So we have the firewall of your own computer, which is already installed on your server or on your computer. And then we have another firewall, which is called the hardware firewall. So this can be found on the router. So just by accessing the IP address, or yeah, the IP address of this router, you'll be able to turn on or off that firewall. Okay, so this is the added feature of some of the routers. So some of the routers doesn't have a firewall, but most of them nowadays has a firewall. Okay, so just activate those two, then you are now much safer when it comes to attack. And another thing, if you cannot afford a premium version of an antivirus, so just use your default Windows Defender. Okay, just turn it on, and then in that way, it will protect you 80% from attacks of any viruses or spyware, right? And then we have here unauthorized access and use. So access is the first thing that that person will ask. Okay, so of course, if someone is asking you to, access your computer, so he's asking a permission, that one is unauthorized access. But if that person is already inside of your computer and then he's doing some activities, and then he done or he did some illegal activities wherein supposedly uh, you're not supposed to open a certain file, but you've opened it. So in that case, that is already an authorized use. Okay, you're already visiting or opening that should not be open. Okay, and here's one thing that uh, you can do to avoid unauthorized access and use without you knowing. Okay, so of course we have the not shared documents, not shared music, not shared pictures, videos, printers, etc., etc. So just turn off those uh, functionalities of our computer, and then you'll 90% safer when it comes to access and use of other computers that is within your network. Okay, and yeah, and then for the access control, this one is a security measure that defines who, when, and what actions they can take while accessing it. So they basically do this one, especially if they are only lending you a computer. Like for example, one good example of access control is the PC or the computer in UC. Okay, if you guys have experience using the computers in UC, we uh, edited already the things that you can do and cannot do. Okay, so you cannot search the link of YouTube on the browser, so nothing will pop out wherein it is blocked by the UC, and you cannot also tweak some of the settings, okay, of the computer itself. Okay, so we call that one access control. Okay, and audit trail is very important, especially if that one is really for everybody. So what I mean by everybody, like each one of you that is allowed to visit or that is allowed to access that computer will be given, let's say, a login uh, account. Okay, so each one of you has an account for you to log in onto that computer. But if some people, okay, tries to log in and then they are not really a part of the list who can access that computer, then that is where audit trail comes to play. Okay, wherein it will count how many successful and how many unsuccessful access attempts happen at the time. So in that case, you'll be able to know who are the people who's trying to access this computer without your permission. And we have here access control types. So we have a lot of access control. So first we'll start with usernames, very common. And then we have the passwords, very common also. And then we have the passphrase. So passphrase is composed of words. So we could see that one sentence or 5 words. Okay, that's why it's called passphrase. So in this case, this one is a lot harder, okay, uh, to hack or to bypass, okay, because you have a much more difficult password. And then we have another way for you to gain access. So CAPTCHA is used in some websites for us or for the computer or for the server to know the computer or to tell to tell apart the computer and then the humans. Okay, so which one is computer and then which one is human. So in that case, for them to be able to know, they will use CAPTCHA. Okay? Because if it's just a bot, like DDoS attack, if it's just a computer, then it won't be able to gain access to that website because it has a CAPTCHA, wherein you have to put uh, every access with the use of CAPTCHA one by one. Okay, because if you don't have a CAPTCHA, it will be easily bring down by just by implementing DOS attack to your website. So with CAPTCHA, you are much safer with those attacks. So CAPTCHA stands for completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. Right? So this one is common when it comes to accessing a certain website. Let's say you're going to watch something on that website, okay, or anime site. So yeah, CAPTCHA is very common. So here's example of CAPTCHA. So a computer won't be able to read that this one is skill CAPTCHA. Okay, so algorithms haven't yet created to crack this one, as in to read this one as skill CAPTCHA. Only a human, okay, can say that this one is a kill CAPTCHA, right? And then we have other possessed objects. So you guys remember this one. So you can use your badge to gain access. You can use your ATM cards. You can use your smart cards. You can use your keys, okay? Or you can just use your PIN or personal identification number, wherein of course PIN is a numeric password, okay? We even have biometric devices. Okay, this one is also a way for us to gain access to something. Okay, so here are the types of biometric devices. So fingerprint, you guys already know this one. Face recognition, you guys already know this one. Hand geometry, so this one is new to you guys, but this is also another way for you to gain access to something. Voice verification, so it's already common, but not that reliable. They also have signature verification system. So these ones might be new to you guys also. But yeah, again, this is another way for you to gain access to that application or system. Then lastly is iris recognition system, which is quite recommended or quite reliable. Okay? And yeah, so I will not explain those biometric devices anymore since they are very straightforward. Okay, so just by reading the name, you guys already know what it means. So I am skipping this part, and then I will leave the reading part into you guys. Okay, and the next one here is digital forensics, or sometimes called cyber forensics. So in real world, we also have, forensic science or forensic, etc., etc. I don't know what they call it on the other countries, but uh, a forensic is an investigator or someone who gathers data to study more about the case. So in cyber world, we also have cyber forensics, okay, wherein mostly, of course, they also conduct some discovery, collect some data, and then analyze some evidences, etc., etc. Okay, and here are the areas of cyber forensics. So we have law enforcement, criminal prosecutors, military intelligence, insurance agencies, information security departments, and many more. Okay, but mostly the one that we are after to is criminal prosecutors. Okay, so forensics are the one who's tracking down black hat hackers, okay, or bad hackers. Okay, and then software theft. Okay, I will leave this one to you guys also. So this one is very straightforward. Aside from this one, okay, so when say software theft, supposedly you're just stealing something. Okay, you'll just copy it and then paste it, and then the application still remains there. You just simply duplicated the software. But in here, we have intentionally erases the programs. So if you have intentionally erases the program, that is still under software tab. All right. All right. So any questions so far up to this point? Any question or clarification? Okay, so I think Miss Mabana just spoke, but anyway. All right then. And here are the things that you can do or you cannot do to a certain software. Okay? So because you yourself might have already committed a software tab. So in here, it will tell you if you can spread or if you can uh, install this one on the another computer. Okay. So you can read that one and under the under user license agreement or the license agreement. Okay, and then here are also the things that you cannot do. Okay, especially modifying that system and then passing it to the other customer. So that is a no-no when it comes to giving copy to your friend, right? And we have here information theft, which is very common. So one solution of this one is via encryption. So what is this encryption? So it is a process of converting data that is readable by humans into encoded characters to prevent unauthorized access. Okay, so from readable, you have this key to encrypt this one, and then it is now encrypted. And then for the receiver to be able to read that one, he must decrypt that data or that file. Okay, and here are the some simple encryption algorithms, though they don't really or we don't really use them, but they are still helpful. A little only. So plain text is the unencrypted, ciphertext is the encrypted version. Okay, and then encryption algorithm or cipher algorithm is a set of steps that can convert readable plain text into unreadable ciphertext. Okay, so we have here the some encryption algorithm. So first one is transposition. So this one switch the orders of the characters. So as you guys can see, we have here the software, and then became OST forward. But this one came from this plain text. It's just that we've applied transposition. Okay, switch the orders. And then we also have substitution, wherein you can replace characters with other characters. Like your I became W, your N became L, your F became B, etc., etc. Okay, so we replace or substitute the characters into another character. An expansion, so from the word itself, it will get expanded by inserting another characters. So in here, expansion, you're going to insert characters between existing characters. So from user, there's now Y between every letter. And the last one is compaction, wherein it's quite the opposite of expansion, wherein this will shrink or this will become smaller. So activation will become activity. So every third letter will remove. So letter T will remove, A will remove, and then O will also remove. All right. So any questions so far?
None, sir.
All right. So here are the step by step when it comes to sending an encrypted file. So we have here the plain text, and then we have here the key wherein it will be encrypted. Here's now the text, so it's now unreadable. And then we have uh, a software here wherein it's another key to decrypt this encrypted file. And then voila, you now have the original file version of that uh, file or that data. So this one is very effective, especially if you are you're not sure if there is a man in the middle attack or if there is a spoofing attack. Okay, so this one is very helpful. So yes, they will be able to receive the data, but they won't be able to read it since it's encrypted. Okay. Then we have another kind of encryption algorithm here, wherein that replaces each character in the plain text with a different letter by shifting the alphabets a certain number of positions. So as you guys can see right here, we have computer was shifted to DP and Q, etc., etc. So your C became D, your O became P, your M became N, your P became Q, your U became V, P became U, etc., etc. So the letters were shifted one position. Okay, C, the next to C is D, next to O is P, next to M is N. So that's how we've come up with this encrypted version. So this one was actually named after Julius Caesar because it is believed that he used it in his private correspondence. Anyway, this is just his way of encrypting data. Okay. Caesar cipher. And then we have here information tab, wherein this is another way for you to avoid, getting stolen by your or to your important information or to important data. So we have here the digital signature. So this one is quite the same in this one, but instead of using an encryption, he's going to use a digital security or signature security rather, wherein before he will be able to receive the data, he needs to match up the signature first. So in that way, even though we have a man in the middle attacks, but he doesn't know the signature, okay, or digital signature, then he won't be able to receive that certain file. Okay, so the only one that who will receive this file will be the original receiver, of course, the one who knows the digital signature. Okay, so this one will protect you from imposter. Okay, and then we also have the digital certificate, wherein it can be found on the website. So if you're going to take a look on this one, we have here the lap icon. So just click, left click that one. And then you will see right here, certificate says valid. If it's valid, then that website gone through a process where it is safe. Okay? It was scanned by the website itself or a certain application. But if this one is invalid, okay, then there's a chance that that website is not safe. Okay, that website wasn't checked by standard or software who's maintaining the protection of the website, okay, or of the browser. So yeah, so that's digital certificate to secure a certain website. So yeah, other from this lock icon, okay, we also have this HTTPS. So if you have this HTTPS, so meaning that website is legitimate, okay, meaning it is you're sure that the one that you're visiting is the real Amazon.com, www.amazon.com. Okay, so just always check the word HTTPS. Then we have here hardware theft, vandalism, and failure. So you guys already know those things. So I will leave this part to you guys. So quite explain about it. Okay. Hardware theft, cause someone will steal your information. Vandalism is defacing someone's computer or destroying the equipment, and etc. etc. And then here are the things or tips to reduce the chances of theft. Okay. So these are the things that you can do. Okay, to reduce the chances of that someone who wants to steal your computer. So we have another thing here to protect you from hardware failure, okay, etc. etc. Then we have here backing up. So you guys already know what is the meaning of backup. So it's a complete duplicate of your file. Okay, the original file will create a new batch of duplicated files. In that case, that is now called a backup. So you can store it physically on an external hard drive, or you can store it via online, via cloud storage. So it's also possible. So that one depends now on you. And we have here the types or the categories of backing up your data or information. So we have full backup. So as its name implies, it will back up everything. And then differential, it will only back up some. Incremental, it will back up every time that there is changes of the size of that specific folder or of that hard drive. Then selective will only back up selective folders. And then continuous data protection. So you can say that this one is the ultimate backup, because even though there is no changes on the data, so it's a real-time backup. Okay. So whatever happened, it will back up your data. Okay. But this one is expensive since it will consume a lot of sites. Okay. So here are their descriptions. So I will leave the reading part to you guys. And we have here the wireless security, wherein, of course, that's already this one, connection via router, okay, wherein we have the unsecured wireless access point or the WAP. So again, if it's unsecured or if there is no password and it's a public Wi-Fi, just don't dare, okay? Especially if you're going to do some personal activities. Like, for example, you're going to pay via online, or what else? You're going to pay via bank, you're trying to log into your Facebook account, okay, and then you're connected to that public network. So you're not sure, okay, that network might be under surveillance of someone's. Yeah. And we have here ethics and society. So let's see, computer ethics. So it is your how you act, okay, when you're in front of your computer. So we have human, human behavior if we are interacting or if we are talking with other people. But we also have netizen behavior. Okay, so what is your characteristic if you are now in front of your computer? Are you the kind of person who bashes someone? Are you the kind of person who keeps on threatening someone? Like, you are brave since you are behind your monitors. But if it's in real life, you cannot really do that one. Okay? Like, you have the balls to do that one because, okay, it's just a dummy account. It's just a fake account, etc. Okay? So, ethics. Okay, and do not just copy someone's idea. Okay, that is also ethics. So we could say that they could sue you for plagiarism if they found out that you you're claiming someone's idea or someone's article. Okay, so this is skip this one. It's just your thoughts about if it's ethical or unethical. And then we have here the ethics and society. So intellectual property are your properties that you have created under computer. Oops. So there's a question. Sir, illegal ba ang magkaroon ng dummy account? No, it's not illegal. So it's okay to have a dummy account as long as that dummy account doesn't do anything bad. Okay. But if you're doing some illegal acts, like you're bashing someone because you're using dummy account, you're posting fake news because you're using dummy account, then that is already illegal. Okay. All right. So again, since we don't have enough time anymore, so we will just continue the rest on the part 5. This is part 4, right? So part 5. So don't you guys worry. Mabilis na lang to. So binibilisan ko na para matapos tayo kaagad. Okay. So goodbye for now and see you guys later. Okay. So join as soon as possible para makapag-continue na kaagad tayo. Okay. So goodbye. Just wait for the part 5.